The Royal Academy of Dance is a UK-based examination board specialising in dance education and training, with an emphasis on classical ballet. The Radial was founded in London, England in 1920 as the Association of Teachers of Operatic Dancing, and was granted a royal charter in 1935. Queen Elizabeth II is patron of the RAD, and Darcey Bussell was elected to serve as president in 2012, succeeding Antoinette Sibley, who served as president for 21 years. The Radial was created with the objective to improve the standard of ballet teaching in the UK and, in pursuit of that goal, a new teaching method and dance technique was devised for the Academy by a group of eminent European dancers. The Radial is one of the largest dance organisations in the world with over 14,000 members in 79 countries, including about 7,500 who hold registered teacher status. There are currently about 1,000 students in full-time or part-time teacher training programs with the RAD, and each year about 250,000 candidates enter RAD examinations worldwide. RAD exams are recognised by the National Qualifications Regulators of England, Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland, with selected exams also carrying a UCAS tariff towards university admission. The Radial is also a validated awarding body of the Council for Dance Education and Training. The Radial works in partnership with the International Dance Teachers Association. Royal Academy of Dance's charity 312,826 registered in England and Wales. Royal Academy of Dance Enterprises Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of the RAD, which sells Academy-branded merchandise, with all profits being gift-aided to the RAD. History 1920 On July 18, 1920, Philip J. S. Richardson, then editor of Dancing Times magazine, organised a dinner for eminent dance professionals at the former Trocadero restaurant in Piccadilly. The diners included 5 special guests, representing the principal methods of ballet training in use at that time. Phyllis Bedell's, English method, Lucia Cormani, Italian method, Edouard Espinosa, French method, Adeline Gina copyright E, Bonnonville method, Denmark, Tamara Karsavina, Imperial method, Russia. Other guests included Ninette de Valois, the founder of England's Royal Ballet Company, and Anton Dolin, the co-founder of English National Ballet. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss the poor quality of dance training in Britain at that time, and following further meetings, the Association of Teachers of Operatic Dancing of Great Britain was formed, with Adeline Gina copyrightee as its first president. The association would be the predecessor of the RAD. 1921-1928 In 1921, the association established headquarters at the offices of Dancing Times magazine in London, and the first elementary, intermediate and advanced level examinations were held in the years that followed, with the first children's syllabus being published and then examined in 1923 and 1924. In 1927 a scholarship scheme was introduced for students studying dance with an association member, and in 1928, Queen Mary consented to become patron of the Association of Teachers of Operatic Dancing. 1930-1934 In November 1930, the first issue of Dance Gazette was published containing a historical review of the association's first 10 years. Dance Gazette is still the official magazine of the RAD, being distributed quarterly to all fully paid members. Since 2011, it is also available to buy in selected branches of Smith in the UK. In 1931, the first Gina copyrightee international ballet competition for female dancers was held in London, with awards for male dancers being introduced later in 1939. The competition is the RAD's flagship annual event, named after Dame Adeline Gina copyright EDBE, and now one of the most prestigious dance competitions in the world. The competition was introduced as an additional incentive for candidates who had passed the solo seal examination, and has taken place almost every year since 1931, even during the Second World War. In 1934, the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden agreed to an alliance with the association, and a Grand Council of prestigious men and women was formed to act as a governing body to advise the Executive Committee. 1935-1937 In 1935 King George V approved the granting of a royal charter for the Association of Teachers of Operatic Dancing. The charter was eventually affixed with his Great Seal in 1936, and the Association of Teachers of Operatic Dancing officially became the Royal Academy of Dancing. The following year in 1937, a coat of arms was designed by the College of Arms in London. Coat of Arms. The Radial Coat of Arms was granted by the College of Arms in 1937, designed by the Honourable George Bellew, Somerset Herald of Arms and Registrar. The crest at the top of the coat of arms is a figure of Terpsichore, one of the muses from Greek mythology, representing dance. The supporter at either side of the shield is a winged doe, symbolizing lightness and grace of movement. The escutcheon shows a pentagram symbolizing health, with a wavy and zigzag line conveying the movement of dancing. The motto Salus a Felicitas a unregistered trademark translates to mean health and happiness. 1950-1954 In 1950, founder-president of the RAD Adeline Gina Copyright was appointed a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the New Year Honours list. Further honours were awarded to members of the Academy in 1951, with Nanette de Valois being appointed a Dame, Philip Richardson being awarded an Order of the British Empire and Margot Fontaine awarded a Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Following the death of Queen Mary in 1953, Queen Elizabeth II consented to become the royal patron of the Royal Academy of Dancing, and Dame Adeline Gina Copyright instituted the Queen Elizabeth II Coronation Award to mark the occasion. The award is presented annually in recognition of outstanding services to the art of ballet. The first recipient was Dame Nanette de Valois, founder of the Royal Ballet Company. The following is a list of selected recipients of the award. Phyllis Bedels, the first recognized English ballerina and a founder member of the RAD, Tamara Karsavina, Russian ballerina, founder member of the RAD and vice president for over 30 years, Nanette de Valois, dancer, choreographer and director, founder of the Royal Ballet, Birmingham Royal Ballet and Royal Ballet School, Anton Dolin, dancer, choreographer and director, co-founder of the English National Ballet, Marie Rambert, founder of the first professional dance company in the UK, which survives today as Rambert Dance Company, Alicia Markova, English prima ballerina assoluta and co-founder of English National Ballet, Beryl Gray, dancer and director, former RAD vice president and life president of the Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing, Rudolf Nureyev, Russian dancer, choreographer, director and former artistic director of Paris Opera Ballet, Frederick Ashton, founder choreographer and former artistic director of the Royal Ballet, Robert Helpman, Australian dancer, actor, choreographer and director, most famous for playing the child catcher in the film Chutty Chutty Bang Bang, Gillian Lynn, former ballet dancer, most famous as a choreographer of West End and Broadway musicals including Cats, Antoinette Sibley, former ballet dancer who served as president of the RAD from 1991 to 2012. Dame Adeline Gina Copyright retired as president of the RAD in 1954 and Dame Margot Fontaine was elected as her successor. The leading principal dancer of the Royal Ballet at that time and considered the greatest ballerina of her generation, Fontaine was later appointed prima ballerina assoluta of the Royal Ballet by Queen Elizabeth II. 1963-1968 In 1963, the Academy was granted charitable status. In 1965, the first RAD summer school was held at the Elmhurst Ballet School in Camberley, Surrey. Teachers and dancers attended the summer school from the USA, Canada, New Zealand as well as the UK. In 1968, Dame Margot Fontaine devised a new Childrena Euro unregistered trademark syllabus, which would become the basis for lower-graded examinations. 1970-1975 On April 23, 1970, founder-president of the Academy, Dame Adeline Gina Copyright died at the age of 92, and in 1972, the RAD moved into its current headquarters in Battersea Square, London. The building was fully refurbished to provide high-quality dance facilities and was officially opened by Queen Elizabeth II in 1974. The following year in 1975, the Academy established the Professional Dancers Teaching Diploma, an intensive course for professional ballet dancers and other dance professionals to gain registered teacher status with the RAD, and in 1976, the RAD's teacher training schemes were organized into what is now officially the Faculty of Education of the RAD. 1979 In 1979, a new bursary was founded and named in honor of Phyllis Bedells, a founder member and former vice president of the RAD. The bursary of £1,000 is held annually, awarded for further training in the Academia Euro unregistered trademark S method, and is awarded to young dancers who are under 17 years of age and have passed RAD Advanced 1 with distinction but have not entered for the Advanced 2 examination. Past winners have gone on to win medals in very high-profile competitions, such as the Gina Copyright International Ballet Competition, and to dance with world-renowned companies including the Australian Ballet, Dutch National Ballet, English National Ballet, London City Ballet, Maurice Barr Copyright Chart and the Royal Ballet. Payment of the bursary can be offset against existing tuition fees where the winner may be studying, or against materials/equipment needed for the winner to continue their training. 1983 In 1983, the RAD opened its first international headquarters in Darlinghurst, New South Wales, Australia. Since that time, the RAD has opened offices worldwide, including Brazil, China, Germany, Greece, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, Singapore, South Africa, Spain, United Arab Emirates and the United States of America. 1990-1992 In 1990, a new studio complex was opened at RAD headquarters. Titled the Fontaine Center, it was opened by Queen Elizabeth II. The following year in 1991, Dame Margot Fontaine died on 21 February in Panama City, and Antoinette Sibley was elected as the RAD's third president. Also in 1991, the current graded examination syllabus was introduced, with grades 6, 7 and 8 being introduced later in 1992. The 3-year teacher training course was also amended in 1992, being replaced by the RAD's first full-time degree qualification, the BA Art and Teaching of Ballet. 1995-1999 The Radial celebrated its 75th anniversary in 1995, the event being marked by events throughout the world. In 1996, RAD President Antoinette Sibley was appointed a Dame in the Queen's New Year Honours List, and the Academy's first 12-degree students attended their graduation at Durham Castle. In 1997, the Benesch Institute was incorporated into the RAD, and in 1999, the Faculty of Education was established with further teaching qualifications being launched, validated by the University of Durham. 2000 On December 20, 2000, the RAD officially adopted its current title, Royal Academy of Dance, and in the same year, qualifications were established for students studying Benesch movement notation. 2010 In 2010 the RAD became an accredited institute of the University of Surrey. 2011 On January 4, 2011 in London and January 17 in Sydney, the RAD launched its new Intermediate Foundation and Intermediate Syllabi. RAD Grades 1 to 8 and the first 5 levels of the Vocational Grades were accredited by the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation in England, with the RAD as an awarding organisation, and the Academy also achieved SQA accreditation for RAD exams. UCAS tariff points for graded and vocational graded examinations in dance at Level 3 were confirmed in August, meaning those candidates who have achieved a pass or higher at grades 6 to 8, intermediate or advanced foundation can use their exam result as contributing towards their points tariff when applying to a university or higher education institution in the UK. The Gina Copyright International Ballet Competition 2011 was held for the first time in Cape Town, South Africa, at Artscape Theatre Centre, looking to present the competition in New Zealand in 2012. The first ever dance proms took place on Sunday 13 November at the Royal Albert Hall, London, as a partnership project between the International Dance Teachers Association, the Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing, RAD and the Royal Albert Hall, working together in celebration of dance and hosting more than 450 young dancers on the stage. UK and Republic of Ireland members from the three dance organisations were invited to video and submit a short dance piece online, and a variety of acts were then chosen both by an esteemed panel of professionals and through a public vote to perform live at the Royal Albert Hall. Examinations. The Radial offers two examination syllabi, which are suitable for both male and female students and form the basis of the RAD's work in the UK and overseas. Each program consists of a series of progressively more difficult practical examinations. http://www.rad.org.uk/ article_green.asp?ID=112. Graded examination syllabus. http://www.rad.org.uk/ article_green.asp?ID=185 realcat=73. Vocational graded examination syllabus. http://www.rad.org.uk/ article_green.asp?ID=198 realcat=75. Grades 1 to 8 and the first 5 levels of the vocational grades are accredited by the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation in England, the Department for Children, Education, Lifelong Learning and Skills in Wales and the Council for the Curriculum, Examinations and Assessment in Northern Ireland. These organisations are the government-approved qualifications regulators for their respective countries. Candidates who successfully pass an Radian examination are awarded credit on the Qualifications and Credit Framework. The Academy also achieves SQA accreditation for RAD exams. In 2009, the RAD launched a new syllabus at pre-primary and primary level in dance. These two new grades replace the existing pre-primary and primary grades in ballet. The Academy is also in the process of piloting a new syllabus for grades 1, 2 and 3. Graded syllabus. The graded examination syllabus consists of pre-primary, primary, and numbered grades 1 to 8. Each grade incorporates classical ballet, free movement and character dance. The syllabus is devised to progress in difficulty from one grade to the next, and a student studying the grades in sequence would be expected to develop a greater degree of dance technique at each level. Classical ballet is one of the most widespread dance forms in the world. Originating in the Italian royal courts of the Renaissance period, over hundreds of years it has been developed into a highly technical dance form. Ballet is the foundation of the RAD's work and is the most important part of the graded syllabi. Free movement is the term applied to movement from dance styles such as natural movement, contemporary and classical Greek dance. Free movement does not have to include codified dance vocabulary and is usually an improvisation based on the student's interpretation of a piece of music or stimulus. Character dance is an integral part of classical ballet repertoire. It is the stylized representation of a traditional folk dance, normally from a European country, and uses movements and music which have been adapted for the theatre. The radial syllabus uses character dances based on Hungarian, Russian and Polish folk dance. Students who have studied a complete grade from the syllabus will normally take an examination organized by their dance teacher and held at the teacher's studio or a suitable venue hired for the occasion. In the examination, the students perform the relevant grade work for an Radian examiner, who assesses the artistic and technical execution of the grade. A successful candidate receives a certificate printed with their name and the grade passed. They also receive a report detailing what marks were awarded and highlighting which aspects of their performance need further improvement. Unsuccessful candidates receive a report and a certificate of participation. The pre-primary grade is devised for younger students who are not old enough to enter the primary examination. There is no examination offered at this level, however students can take part in a presentation class. Presentation classes were introduced for students who a dance teacher feels may not benefit from, or be suitable for taking the series of examinations. In a presentation class, in contrast to an examination, the teacher and a small audience of spectators are present in the room. The students perform for an examiner but are not assessed. They dance a condensed selection of exercises from the appropriate grade and receive a certificate of participation, which is normally presented by the examiner at the end of the class. As a syllabus devised specifically with children in mind, examinations are not compulsory. The entry level of a new student is decided by the dance teacher based upon the child (1) registered trademark age, natural ability for dance or previous examination passes with another dance school or examination board, such as the IDTA or ISTD. Grades. The grades are, pre-primary 5 years and over, primary 6 years and over, grade 1 7 years and over, grade 2 8 years and over, grade 3 9 years and over, grade 4 10 years and over, grade 5 11 years and over, grade 6 12 years and over, grade 7 13 years and over, grade 8 14 years and over. Vocational graded syllabus equals, the vocational graded syllabus is designed primarily for older children or young adults who are considering a career in professional dance, as a performer, teacher or in another capacity. The vocational syllabus is technically demanding and comprises only classical ballet and point work. Students choosing to study the series of awards are required to be competent in the fundamentals of ballet technique and movement vocabulary. Unlike the graded examination syllabus, the vocational grades have to be studied in sequence and the student must successfully pass an examination at each level before progressing on to the next. All vocational examinations are organized by RAD headquarters and instead of being held at a dance teacher's own venue, they are held in major cities worldwide. In this situation, the session organizer is responsible for timetabling the examinations, and it is normal for students to dance alongside the students of other dance schools in the examination room. As with the graded syllabus, successful candidates receive a certificate personalized with their name and the level passed. They also receive a report. However, for this series of examinations, there is a different marking system and assessment criteria. Students studying the vocational syllabus are expected to achieve a high level of technical and artistic ability in ballet, and it can take a great deal of time and commitment to reach the standard required to pass these examinations. Normally, a student will begin studying the vocational graded syllabus after completing grade 5 in the graded examination syllabus. However, some students will continue to study the graded syllabus at the same time. The Intermediate Foundation and Advanced Foundation examinations are the only optional exams in the series of awards. They are devised for students who the teacher feels may need more preparation before studying at the higher level. However, they are assessed in the same way, certificates awarded in the same way, and credits awarded on the National Qualifications Framework. The vocational grades are: Intermediate Foundation, 11 years and over; Intermediate, 12 years and over; Advanced Foundation, 13 years and over; Advanced 1 to 14 years and over; Advanced 2 to 15 years and over. Solo seal must hold their Advanced 2 with distinction. Style and Technique. The radial method is a ballet technique and training system, specially devised by the founders of the RAD, who merged their respective dance methods to create a new style of ballet that is unique to the organization. The radial method produces a style of ballet that has become recognized internationally as the English style of ballet. Training method. The most identifiable aspect of the RAD method is the attention to detail when learning the basic steps, and the progression in difficulty is often very slow. While the difficulty of an exercise may only increase slightly from grade to grade, more importance is placed on whether the student is performing the step with improved technique. For example, plie exercises are employed consistently throughout the lower grades to enable the student to progressively deepen the plie and improve turnout. The principle behind this is that if enough time is spent achieving optimal technique before introducing new vocabulary, the easier it is for the student to learn the harder steps, while exercising basic technique to the maximum at all times. Associations. From October 1, 2006, the RAD began a new association with the International Dance Teachers Association, a dance organization based in Brighton, England. A press release issued to members of each organization stated that the two organizations would embark on a process of working together for the future of dance and to the mutual benefit of their members in both teacher education and training and examinations. As a result of this association, Both organizations have formally granted teachers of the respective organization the opportunity to enter candidates for its examinations, thereby ensuring that both organizations recognize the right of qualified teachers to enter candidates for examinations of either awarding body. At the RAD, these members are called a Euro teachers recognized by mutual agreement, a Euro unregistered trademark. Whilst the new association is not a merger, it is intended that it will develop cooperation between the two organizations and mutual recognition of the training and qualifications that they both provide. Dance Proms is a partnership project between the IDTA, the ISTD, RAD and the Royal Albert Hall, working together in celebration of dance. In 2011, Dance Proms hosted more than 450 young dancers on the stage, showcasing a huge range of dance styles and cultural influences. UK and Republic of Ireland members from the three dance organisations are invited to video and submit a short dance piece online, featuring original choreography by themselves or their students in any dance genre, either as a solo, duet, or group performance. Acts are then chosen both by an esteemed panel of professionals and through a public vote to be performed live at the Royal Albert Hall, one of the World Euro unregistered trademark's most iconic and prestigious venues. Dance Proms is designed to showcase the high standards of dance and dance teaching of the organizations and their members, and to raise standards and increase participation in and appreciation of dance in the UK. Countries: the Royal Academy of Dance is currently active in over 80 countries worldwide. The following is a list of countries, by region, in which the RAD has active members, including the locations of regional administrative offices: UK and Ireland. Europe, North America, Caribbean, Central and South America, Asia and Pacific, Africa, Middle East and South Asia. Famous alumni: Michelle Yeoh, Malaysian actress; Beatrice Lungo, actress, singer and dancer. Ballet schools and companies: a number of international ballet schools offer their students the opportunity to take vocational examinations with the RAD. As a result of this, dancers from many of the world's leading ballet companies are also alumni of the RAD. Examples include Elmhurst School for Dance, English National Ballet School, National Ballet School of Canada, Royal Ballet School. It should be noted that the Royal Academy of Dance is not affiliated to any of these schools. See also: United Kingdom Alliance, Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing, International Dance Teachers Association, Ballet, Benesh Movement Notation, Gina Copyright E International Ballet Competition. References. External links: Royal Academy of Dance UK, 1, Charity Commission pages, including annual reports.